Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Oh, wait, am I supposed to say?
Yeah, you can go.
Oh, Spider-Man.
That was nothing.
Welcome back
to Stole My Line, a Fireside film podcast. I am Grant.
And I'm Drew.
And today we're talking about, you guessed
Spider-Man.
it. Yeah, it's Spider-Man.
It's true.
There's a lot of Spider-Man movies. This is the first...
The OG.
One ever made, at least live action. I don't think there's an animated one before that, right?
There's a bunch of shows, but there's not a movie.
Yeah, so this was Sam Raimi, 2001? 2002.
It's true.
I didn't do my research, guys. I actually didn't watch this movie. I'm freeballing it today.
Well, there's a little bit of truth to that, but...
No, no, I did actually watch this movie, guys.
He did.
I watched it about 2 hours prior to this moment.
It's true.
But thank you for being with us. How are you, Drew?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's a hot one.
It is a hot one.
I'm very ready for summer to be over.
Yeah, that's going to be in like the first 20 episodes.
Yeah.
But
you're going through, well, you're probably sitting in the comfort of your home.
In your nice AC.
Yeah.
Or in your car or
I hope
somewhere
you're
nice.
enjoying it because we're out in the muggy
we are
July
getting cooked
sun. So, anyways, what'd you think of this movie, Drew?
I mean, this was my pick.
Yes.
I'm a big fan. I love Spider-Man. He's probably my favorite fictional character ever.
Wow.
Ever.
That's a bold statement, actually.
It is a bold statement.
Okay.
And this is the first superhero movie I ever saw.
Okay.
And I love this movie.
That's sick.
What about you?
Spider-Man's my favorite superhero.
Actually?
Yeah.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
He's always been my favorite superhero. I love Spider-Man. I have seen these movies before. This is a rewatch for me.
Yeah.
I actually had to put guardrails on myself because I thought a lot about the other Spider-Man movies.
I did too.
And there was a moment, and I'll tell you about it when we get into the spoiler section, where I was like, I need to just judge this movie for what it is, you know?
In fact, I watched this movie and then instantly watched
the second one?
Spider-Man 2.
I didn't do that.
Which, yeah, I'm aware.
Because I'd still be watching Spider-Man 2 right now in this moment. But I was thinking a lot about Spider-Man 2. Because Spider-Man 2 is like one of the greatest.
It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing.
Yeah. No, stop. No, it's not. Don't.
That was stupid. But I had to kind of pull myself out of it. But I really like what this movie accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
I think this movie was better in my mind than it was when I rewatched it.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that. I still enjoyed watching it, but I have some critiques. We might not be fully synced up on this movie.
No, I think there will be disagreement.
I saw your Letterboxd review. That was not my Letterboxd review. Okay, so do we want to do... Well, there was one question we had that I think we can get into at least.
We can touch on that without spoilers.
There's one thing I thought of that was a spoiler, so we can address part of it now and part of it after the spoiler. I'm getting smoked right now.
Yeah, you are. It's true.
The question was from Ethan Johnston.
It's true. I'm pulling it up currently.
Okay, I'll let you read it.
If it'll load, we can cut this.
No, it's okay. Look, we're leaving this in the podcast. The question was basically...
Okay, how did it inspire comic book movies, right?
Yeah, like how did it influence what came after? Because,
right.
I mean, there was the Batman movies in the 80s, but I think that this was like probably one of the first comic book movies that really used CGI in this way, you know?
Yeah.
Because this would have been before Hulk 2, right?
Hulk was 2008, I think.
Well, no, not that one. The one...
Oh, yeah, the other one.
Before...
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
I haven't
anyway, this is one of like the early comic book movies, and obviously it's influenced a lot since then. So do you have any non-spoiler thoughts on this?
On the question specifically?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it just set a I mean, because Sam Raimi, just for some context for the viewers, like, he was making like indie horror movies.
Yeah, he did Evil Dead, right?
Yeah, and then Sony took a chance on this kind of up and coming director, and then he like smashed it out of the park financially with this movie.
Yeah.
And made like a crap ton of money.
Yes.
So that kind of hinted all the other studios and all the other whatevers, and we're like, superhero movies.
Yeah, get your IPs in check right
Get your
now.
IPs in check, and superhero movies have a lot of money making potential if you play your cards right. And I mean, you look at 2025 and it's like the last
it's so
15 years
it's
have been
oversaturated.
defined by
Yeah.
the superhero genre, for better or for worse.
Yes, and that's a different podcast entirely. But
that would be interesting. That would be an interesting conversation.
well, I think we should do some conversation
I think we
podcasts
should, yeah.
because I was thinking. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Yes, I agree, and I think a lot of this, the VFX are pretty groundbreaking,
Pretty incredible for 2002.
That was one of my takeaways, and this is a non-spoiler, but the VFX have aged pretty gracefully in
Yeah, they have.
comparison to also what came out around that time. Like, yeah, Lord of the Rings was the same time. That's different. I think they used a lot more practical stuff. Like, this was a little heavier on the CG. If you look at like the prequels, like the Star Wars prequels, and they have not aged as well as this movie.
No, they have not.
And I think Sam Raimi did a good job of lighting stuff. Like, there were some CG moments, but like they're backlit, so you don't need a lot of detail on the figure because even though he's doing superhero jumps and whatever, like there's not a lot of detail because it's backlit. I don't know. There's just like a little thing like that really goes a long way.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you have anything you want to add to that.
No, I think I watched like a behind the scenes a while ago in this movie, and the big question was like, how do we make Spider-Man swing? Because that's just never been done before.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not gonna say the CGI is great for now standards, but I think it does hold up, and it is super impressive for the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it feels like Spider-Man swinging. Like,
yeah. It's still very believable, and it doesn't take you out of the movie.
I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, even if you're like, okay, that's obviously CGI now, you can still enjoy the movie, and it doesn't like really yank you out of it too much. So, well, awesome. Is there anything we want to get into before we dive deep into spoilers?
I think we should just go for it.
I mean, this movie's like 20 years old.
It is 20 years old.
Okay, spoiler warning. If you still haven't seen this movie, but really wanted to hear the first half of our review, go watch it. Or if you just don't care for spoilers, tag along.
I want you to go first.
Okay. This movie.
What do you like about this movie?
Okay, what I like about this movie. I'm trying to think where to start. I think this movie sets up a really great second film.
Yes, I think that's true.
This is what's hard is because I was watching the end of this movie, thinking about the second movie, being like, "Oh man, this sets up all the tension between Harry and Peter and MJ and Spider-Man, and like, you know, he's making these emotional sacrifices, personal sacrifices." And that's really the true hero in Peter and all this stuff. And I was thinking so much about the second movie. I'm like, yeah, but that hasn't happened yet. If I'm watching this in 2002, like, I don't know that a great second movie's coming along. I really like Willem Dafoe. He's great. He's like just, you know, eye candy almost, like not in a weird way, and like he's just fun to watch.
No,
you know,
yeah,
like
that's true.
he's great, and I do think that he's a great villain for Spider-Man. I think it's a great start to it. Like start to the Spider-Man villains, because there's so many of them that are very well known. And then I also just loved the ending. Like, I was watching the end of this movie because I haven't seen this movie in years. I was like, okay, and this is where he gets the girl and all this stuff. And then he like turns MJ down, and I was like, wait, that's actually like
it's so
a really
good.
good ending.
It's
like,
so good.
And I was like, man, that's really like the true, you know, what Spider-Man really is. And I just think it was like, because it was kind of coming off the 90s and stuff, where it's like, you know, 80s, 90s, you get the girl at the end of the movie. And this didn't do that. And there was literally moments like, okay, this is where he gets the girl at the end of the movie, that's sweet or whatever. And then like he didn't. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And I do think that, I mean, we already touched on it, the VFX, it, you know, is good groundwork for what came after it. So that was the bulk of my likes. I don't want to hear yours.
Okay. I mean, I think this movie understands Spider-Man.
Yes.
Like, perfectly. I think better than any movie, except for maybe in the Into the Spider-Verse series. Any movie, I don't think a single movie understands Spider-Man better than this one and Spider-Man 2.
Are you talking just about his origin story? Or like kind of groundwork?
As a character.
Okay, yeah, I can buy into that.
I think people have come close. I think
the Tom Holland ones do a great job of like capturing.
Continue.
We'll have to get into this later. Of capturing some of like the essence of Spider-Man, but I know that this is a bit more traditional Spider-Man.
I have very strong opinions about Tom Holland. I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you liked the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies.
I think Homecoming is fine. Far From Home is terrible. No Way Home is severely overhyped.
Homecoming is my favorite one, so I can take with Homecoming. I can be okay with Homecoming.
Yeah.
It's all right, but okay. Well,
But we'll get into that.
that's a different one. But
I mean, I think just watching Peter go from this like dorky kid who's been bullied his whole life to then having all this power,
yeah,
and then he instantly uses it for selfish gain.
yeah,
And the crazy thing about this movie is the whole movie he's motivated by Mary Jane.
yes,
That is his sole motivation.
yes,
the entire
whole
movie. And like the moment he gets his powers, what did he do? He's trying to get money to buy a car to oppress MJ.
Yes,
And then Uncle Ben dies. He gives the line, "Great power comes great responsibility." And then at the very end of the movie, MJ is literally there saying, "I love you," and he walks away because he knows a scene before MJ was hanging off a bridge, and the smoke is terrible. This is going to be an eyes closed moment.
okay,
But yeah, I think that's just like great character growth and character development, and he realizes that if he dates MJ, he's putting her at risk, and he loves her so much that he's not going to do that.
Yeah.
So he walks away.
Okay, I agree with your take. Like I'm fully bought in on your take.
I just think it's so good, and it's the whole movie is about this line: "With great power comes great responsibility," and it's just like the culmination, and Peter finally understands that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's so good.
That's so good. Yeah, I agree. I think that's because when I was beginning the movie, you watch Peter just be all his dorky self and everything, and I'm like, man, this really is like he kind of feels like Peter Parker. Like he gets bullied. Like he's not cool in any way. And it is about his maturity over the years, because this takes place over, I mean, like at least a year,
yeah.
I mean, maybe even more. So, yeah, it really is about maturity, and like, because he's not only maturing as like a person, like a superhero self, but really as like an emotional self. Because you're right. With great power comes great responsibility. I think that's great. That's a great take.
I mean, I think I read this on Letterboxd too, but I think this is the perfect superhero origin story, and I think what you said about how it sets up the second one, I think that's what it should do.
Yes, I agree, because like the second one would not be as great without the first one.
100%.
Because like you have all the stuff with Harry and his dad and all this dynamic and all the stuff with MJ and Peter and Ben's death. Like there's so much going on in his mind that if you don't have the context of the first movie, you're like, why is this dude so stressed out?
Right.
Like, yeah. I think it's great. What else did you like?
I thought James Franco low-key killed it. And like I've watched this movie probably 10 times.
Okay.
I've watched this movie a lot.
Okay.
But I watched it a lot when I was younger. And I haven't seen it recently in probably the last 2-3 years. And I thought James Franco and Willem Dafoe's scenes were so good, and like you understood the tension between like this kid and his dad, but it was done in like a subtle way. It wasn't like even the first scene of them in the car, like Willem Dafoe like takes a shot at James Franco. He's like, or James Franco's complaining. He's like, why are you rocking up in this nice car? Like you're gonna embarrass me. And then he's like, well, you shouldn't have flunked out of all the private schools. And you can just tell that like James Franco's sole motivation in his life is to impress his dad, because it's like the only unattainable goal he's never hit. Yeah. And he that's why he dates MJ. That's why I can't think of another example, but
I mean, he tries to do all the science stuff,
Yeah.
and he's like getting Peter's help and all this stuff. Yeah, I agree.
He just seems like such a sad guy, honestly, and like I think he plays it so well.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a great take too. I might have to get into my dislikes here.
Okay, yeah, you should.
I think the dialogue is like pretty bad.
It is pretty okay, but
it's okay.
Define bad.
Heavy-handed. It's very heavy-handed.
It is. It's true.
And now this is one of the positives, is that this movie feels like a comic book come to life. And I actually thought a lot about Superman, which we just talked about. Right. Because that's what we said about Superman, and this was very much in a different way. But like some of the montages and, I mean, the way it was kind of shot, it like kind of feels like they took the composition of what a page of a comic book would look like, and they put that on a movie screen. That's kind of how it felt watching this movie for me. And I think at times it was really good, but like the scene where it's like just pure exposition, it's early in the movie, and Uncle Ben and Aunt May are talking before Peter comes in after the field trip. I mean, that dialogue is just so heavy-handed.
What did they say? I can't even remember.
I mean, like, they're just talking about Peter and all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. And like how he's acting different.
Yeah, and there's just, I mean, there's multiple scenes that I'm like, this dialogue is just very on the nose, blunt. And I think it pulled me out of it. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't care about that stuff. I went back and watched Revenge of the Sith in theaters, like when it came out for this anniversary, whatever, this past year. I hadn't seen Revenge of the Sith in years, and I left the theater being like, that was pretty bad. Like, the dialogue is just so bad.
It's true.
And I didn't have the same exact feeling because this is not as great of an offense as Revenge of the Sith. But there were times I'm like, man, he's just like, I mean, we go from point A to point B very quickly, and there's not a lot of subtlety in a lot of it. I do think maybe some of the stuff between Harry and Norman is a little more subtle, but there were other scenes that I'm just like, man, this is like not subtle at all.
It's true, and I think that's the biggest critique that I've seen on this movie in general is like the dialogue is aged
not well,
pretty horribly.
Yeah,
and I do think that's a fair criticism, and I think, like, I mean, some of the smoke, bro, some of the stuff that like Peter says to MJ, especially like in the hospital in that one scene, it's like, it's just directly on the nose. And again, I think that's a fair criticism. Is it cheesy? Yes. Do I care? No.
Yeah, that's true. You don't have to, like, the dialogue doesn't make this a bad movie by any means. Here's something too, and I kind of just thought it was funny, but dude, stuff just happens in this movie sometimes. Like, I get like where all the characters are coming from, but it's the scene where Norman and Green Goblin is like, Green Goblin and Norman are having this whole, battle inside his mind or whatever, and he figures out that Peter is Spider-Man. Right. And he's like, okay, Green Goblin tells him, I'm gonna hurt, like, you need to hurt his, loved ones. And so it's so quickly you cut to a scene.
No, that's true. I
of
did
Aunt
notice
May
that.
just praying, and then the window explodes.
Boom!
And I'm like, yo, what is happening? And then we hard cut to the hospital, and she's screaming. I'm like, this happened in like 30 seconds. There's like, there's times where the buildup of the movie is so abrupt that I wanted to laugh. It was I think it was maybe like the exoskeleton scene where it's just like he's taking off, then boom, he just explodes. Maybe that one wasn't as bad, but like, there were some times where some of the pacing was just very choppy, and it made me want to laugh out loud. And I'm like, I don't think it's meant to be funny.
No, I do think that's fair. I think especially Green Goblin's arc.
Yes.
Is very, and maybe that's a criticism that I will. Like, the whole dialogue thing, I can ignore because I just like this movie. But I think that's a valid criticism that I'll accept. Of like, I wish he had more character development as a whole. Yeah,
and this movie has a lot going on. I mean,
it does have a lot.
You don't really get
on.
deep into the Green Goblin and Spider-Man dynamic because like the first 30 minutes of the movie is just like setting up the
Peter
characters.
Parker. Yeah.
Whereas the second movie, kind of like you can pick up where you left off and you can just kind of hit the ground running. So, yeah, I don't know. That was one criticism. It's maybe minor, but I just kind of thought it was funny when the window exploded. I'm like, okay, and the window just exploded.
And we're here.
Yeah.
I remember that scene terrified me as a kid.
Really?
I was so scared.
You were scared to pray?
No, I wasn't scared to pray, but like, I just knew coming up that like he was about to like bomb this old lady and then like hover up.
Yeah.
It scared me when I was like 8.
I have one last thing, and this is, I kind of am being, loose with some of my pros and cons or likes and dislikes here, but one thing, Ethan Johnson's question, how did this movie influence other things that came after it, was a story thing that I picked up on. It's the scene when it's kind of like the end scene where Green Goblin takes MJ and it's all that, and he puts MJ on one side and the bus of children on the other, and it's like you have to choose. That is something that has, in my opinion, inspired a lot of superhero movies since then, because that whole choice thing of who should I save, it's a very Spider-Man thing. But like, I thought a lot about The Dark Knight. Like, there's multiple times in The Dark Knight where Joker puts Batman in that situation, and that's a whole other podcast on The Dark Knight. But like, I thought a lot about that movie. There's other Marvel movies that a big decision of like who should I save, it's like a trolley problem. That's kind of been a running thing in superhero movies that I think, Spider-Man at least influenced partially by doing it on the big screen for maybe one of the first times. So that was just another kind of comment I had, maybe.
No, I think that's fair. I think, and like, I think and I might have recency bias here, but I think I wish more origin stories took more time to like develop their characters.
Yeah.
Because like I think Iron Man did a good job, and I think maybe Iron Man, Thor, Captain America.
And some of the earlier ones.
Some of the earlier ones all did good, but recently it's like I feel like it's all spectacle and like Shang-Chi. Maybe I just haven't seen it in a minute, but like
I barely remember.
Like I can't remember anything that happens in that movie other than like the cool dragon and the rings and like all the cool VFX.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he had like a little conflict with his dad. But that's like all I remember.
Yeah, I'd have to look through some of the more recent superhero movies that I've even seen. But like I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you like what Black Widow was about, and I don't mean to critique those movies, but I do agree that this movie does a really good job of like letting the character breathe in like his smaller world. And Green Goblin's like big stuff happens, but like the world is still pretty small. Like this is New York. There's a whole scene where the New Yorkers start chucking stuff to the Green Goblin. Like it's about that. Whereas like in more recent movies, it just gets so big, so quick. And we're like, okay, and we're fighting an intergalactic
and it's
space demon. Okay, that's what we're doing now. So
yeah, I don't know. It's just I think that's why I love Spider-Man, because it in the comics, and I think it should be in the movies, and this is kind of my problem with a lot of the Tom Holland stuff. It's not as character driven,
and I think those are very a product of the MCU.
I completely agree. Yeah,
and hopefully Spider-Man 4 maybe is doing his own thing.
Do you want to get into that? Because I have lots of. I'm so excited for that movie just because.
Let's touch on it very briefly, because I don't know really what's going on in it, but I would love to see Tom Holland do his like grounded Spider-Man thing.
I want that so badly.
Yeah,
I want it so bad.
I think you could have the through line. We're getting to No Way Home spoilers. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
But like the through line of him trying to get MJ back, I think could be really, really cool. But
I think Spider-Man to Marvel as a company has just been kind of like a money printing machine. And that like just objectively that's what it feels like they've seen him as.
Yeah.
And I think the character in the MCU has taken a pretty drastic toll because of that. Which like makes me super sad, but you look at No Way Home and it's like the movie made $1 billion.
Yeah.
So can you really blame them?
Yeah.
I don't know. But the same guy who directed Shang-Chi is directing this movie.
Okay.
And he says they're trying to do grounded Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
I'd love to see it. I think maybe using the MCU as like some background for these movies could be cool.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to, I guess, see where it goes, because I don't know. I'm a little Avengers out, but I think I'm still interested in Tom Holland's next stuff with Spider-Man to see where that goes. Do you want to get into your rating? And I think this might be the first time we kind of have to like meet in the middle somewhere.
I guess this is going to be hard for me.
Okay, you go first on what you would say you should do with this movie.
I think you should own a steelbook. I think you should I think for me, I would have the highest quality form of this movie I could.
Yeah.
I think for general audiences, that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, because I think like if we're talking about Spider-Man 2 and like let's say we both really agree how high of a tier that movie that is, you obviously need to see this movie for context. My gut is like you should watch this on streaming. Like that's kind of the tier I'm at. It's a good movie. It's worth a watch. It's just for me, I don't have a desire to own it.
Right.
But I see where you're coming from. Like I really do think that the story of Spider-Man from point A to point B from the beginning to the end is really, really good. So my gut is you should watch this movie on streaming.
Okay.
But like, what do you think? Should we meet in the middle of if there's a rerun of this movie in theaters, you should watch it?
There is going to be in Spider-Man 2 September 27th, and my butt will be in that theater. Okay. But that's completely irrelevant.
Maybe we should review Spider-Man 2 then.
That would be sick.
Okay, so do you want to meet in the middle of like if this movie is an anniversary showing in a theater, go see it there? If not, go watch it on streaming?
Do we have to meet in the middle?
We don't have to.
We can just disagree.
All right, let's just disagree.
I don't know if I can.
If we were to average,
I would say go see it in theaters. Like,
you can.
I don't even know what that is in our ranking system.
yeah, that's like 2-ish.
2.
Okay.
1 being highest. Yeah, I mean, I think this movie is good. I think it can be great if you're that specific person. But I do think I'm in the minority, and it's very person to person.
Yes. For me, I think this is a good Spider-Man movie. I don't think it's the best Spider-Man movie or Spider-Man, story.
I would agree with that.
And so for me, I'm like, I don't know if I can put that at a highest tier.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this movie came first. It walked so those other movies could run. But, the Spider-Verse movies wouldn't be good without this movie, but they're also a lot better than this
I think
movie.
the Spider-Verse movies are the best. I mean, I literally have Miles Morales tattooed on my arm.
Oh, man, we digress. Do you have any other closing thoughts?
Not about this movie in particular, no.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us on Stole My Line. This has been a slightly sporadic episode.
It has been a sporadic episode.
But we hope you enjoyed Spider-Man. Next week, what do we got, Drew?
We are watching Catch Me If You Can with Tom Hanks and Leo.
Yeah. I'm excited. This is one of my favorite movies. It's my pick, so...
I've not seen it in a very long time. I think
Yeah.
I saw it once when I was 15 because you texted me and said you have to watch this movie.
Yeah, it sounds like the kind of movie I would have loved when I was 15. I still love it now. I'm very curious to see what I think of it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a few years, so... but that wraps it up.
Yeah.
Do you want to try our tagline, or do you want to act like you forgot it again?
Take a break, enjoy a film.
Yes.
Wow.
We'll catch you next time.
That's called character development right there. Call me Peter Dang Parker.